What's up, Leo?
Oh, good, my man. Oh, good.
Lovely to have you back, so to say.
I'm still here. I'm hanging on.
Yeah, yeah.
Although, yeah, this week has been quite a test for me.
Yeah.
Um, I've hit the so-called wall,
Yeah.
and um, I've been, well, struggling is a big word,
Mm,
but yeah, I've been tested,
yeah.
let's say, because. Well, probably because of what I've learned before the shit show model is perhaps still a bit uh, in registered in my unconscious or something. Um, it's I started to doubt quite a lot when
Mm,
I started my homework if this was a good shit show level or not, and that and so on and
yeah.
so on. But
You,
yeah, for my second week, it's quite it's yeah totally new, and I'm trying to erase everything I've learned so far just
yeah.
to be able to continue with all this new information.
Mm,
So yeah, it's you're on there.
yeah. You're
We'll
hitting the wall,
survive.
so to say. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been quite at some point frustrated, at another point angry with myself.
Yep. Yep.
But of course, I'm also, well, as I told you already, I'm a bit of a perfectionist, so
Mm,
I try to do everything already 100% from the beginning, and perhaps that is a bit too much because I don't know everything. Of course, I'm only in my second week. So I need to take it a bit slow
yep.
and one step at a time. But as I think it's also what a lot of people go through, that they want to go faster
Yeah.
than they can. So I'm still on my bike with the little wheels attached, you know.
Yeah. 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 I mean, it's only normal when you're in week two, right? That's uh, that's the good part, right? You get hit like a truck the first 2 weeks. First week is
Yeah,
very simple, right? It's breathing rooms. It's like, wow, I start to see things. Second week, it's like, all right, now it's everywhere, but at the same time, I don't completely understand it. So what you do is you start to create a bunch of questions, and it's built up that way because the first 2 weeks will essentially start to um, rough you up, so to say, in terms of where you are at. What do you know? What do you over here? What have you done before this? What have you studied before this? And this information, like, it will essentially rough you up in terms of what do you actually know, right? It gets you to a place of you are nowhere and you don't know anything. It just stripped everything away, but it's still there, and it's like you are just in this spiral of billions of questions about about the trading space, about trading itself, and also about you, right? All of
yeah,
those things at the same time in one spot, and you get hit like a truck because some people also start to ask, how can it be this simple, right? So they can't accept that fact as well. Now, I know that you definitely want to accept that fact, but you're still struggling a bit with, from my knowledge of you, right? Since the last chat, you're still struggling with a bit with where am I coming from, and the information there. And it's like, it could be this stupid simple, right? It can be boiled down into being this simple and effective. And when it becomes simple and effective, that's essentially where you run into the wall. And as we've talked about, you have a mind that is very much like mine, where it goes super mega detailed, right? To understand everything that I say. And that is amazing. And that usually means that you'll hit that wall pretty fast. You will hit that wall and you go, oh shit, what do I do now, right? Or god dang it, right? In a better word. Um, and but it's still good, right? It's on purpose because this time it's at these walls. When you hit these sort of walls on the way, and I tell you, this is also the easier wall. When you hit these sort of walls on the way, this is usually where this informational loop starts to build itself. You start to be building, you start to integrate new things, you start to look for other things, you start to search on YouTube at 2 a.m. to kind of solve your sort of stress. But this time this works. And now you see the problem, because I am literally pointing in your eye. That's how much it hurts, because the problem now is clearly our minds and not necessarily the information in this case.
Exactly. We've been so formatted for so long to, we have been taught for so long in a certain format that it's a certain framework out of which there's no escape in a sense. So there is a lot of people teach a certain strategy, a certain model, a way of trading. Sorry. And there's a rule set, and that's it.
Yeah.
You can add things if you want, but they're not responsible for if you, in case you do that and the results are not the same or whatever. So actually, the most, I don't like the word guru, most teachers offer a quite a limited way of teaching in that sense. Now I realize that before I was just looking for a person who I understood in a certain way, who explained things in a certain way, and whose strategy made sense to me.
Right.
But still, if you compare it to what I'm learning now, how I'm learning it now, it's like a set of tools, or a basic set of tools, or like I told you before, it's like a box of Legos, and you give us the platform where we have to build our Legos on, but how we do it is mostly up to us. It's again, we entered again in the space of the subjectivity and the objectivity.
Yeah.
And that is still a bit of abstract to understand.
Yeah.
And of course, people who are listening to this conversation will think, what the hell is he talking about? But because they're two, it's like they're contradictory, objectivity and subjectivity. But once you start understanding the way you see things and the way you explain it, it's over time it starts to make sense. So we have a certain liberty of applying the Sitchell model, and it's actually a luxury that we can apply it in the way we see it. We are not forced into a way that you see it. You explain us how you see it, you give us the tools, but then there is enough margin, so to say, to start counting, because it's counting from 1 to 3 or 1 to 5 or 1 to 4, basically to how should I say, to explain the model. We just need to be able to count, but the way that we do it, the way that how we apply it, there's a lot of margin, and also that at a few moments while doing my homework, I came across a few sequences or a few movements in the market that I found contradictory, because at a certain point I saw that hey, this number 3 can also be a 4 or 5 if I start counting from there. But how in at some points it's a mathematical equation, but it's open to interpretation. I don't know if I'm making sense, but
it sounds like you're becoming spiritual. That's what you sound like. That's yeah, exactly. No, but for real, when it comes to objectivity and subjectivity, to start off with, many people are very afraid of subjectivity. Right? They go, this is this untapped feeling that you will, You get one day that Mark Douglas was talking about the flow state of mind, all these things, right? That I also talk about, but it doesn't necessarily get you anywhere, right? You see that people might be talking about it, but not enough people know how to actually transfer knowledge into subjectivity, right? It's this extremely contradictory, oh, is this model objective? As a lot of people say to me. And I usually say, yeah, it is. But you can't forget the subjectivity. And they go, but how is it objective if it's subjective? No, they're both intertwined, right? You have to understand the subjectivity, the future moves of the market, yes, predicting the market, to know how the current will play out. And guess what? The current will also tell you what the future is going to do. So guess what? It's just like a loop of the current and the future expectation of price. And not once here did I mention the past. See, people are afraid of leaning into to the future of price because you just shouldn't do that. But to everybody listening, if you really think about it, where does that come from? Do you yourself believe that? Or has somebody in the industry already told you? And that is the difference, that when I was creating the digital model, I had a bunch of belief systems that I held for myself. And then I compared that with the industry, and it was completely the opposite. And because of that, people just told me that I was crazy. It doesn't work like that. This is not how it functions. All of these, so to say, gurus, or so to say, want to be teachers that definitely should not be teachers. These people told everybody that, and keeps on telling everybody that you can't predict the future. And I'm not saying I'm right 100% of the time. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I'm leaning towards predicting the future, and I'm leaning towards knowing the next move, because that's, as a trader, is the only thing your job is to do. You take a trade now, you wait for time to play out, but you're trying to predict it. That's what we all do.
Blasphemy.
Yeah, it's called blasphemy. Exactly. It's complete bullshit that people are giving into. And so the objectivity and the subjectivity, right? How they are intertwined, that's what you're seeing and will be seeing more of in the model. And I can guarantee you, in week 4, you're now at week 2. In week 4, you will be completely mind blown, because that's how you will see how everything is connected in terms of characteristics, right? The numbers characteristics in week 4. So the objectivity and subjectivity is many times what completely annihilates your belief of the market, or past belief, so to say. But when it comes to the wall that you're in right now, it's many times on purpose. I'm looking forward to people running into walls, right? And many times, this is where the bad teachers tell you that you should just study more information that I've given out to you. That's what the bad teachers tell you. And if you have ever been told that from somebody, they're bullshit, full of shit. As a matter of fact, not all of them. Some of them just don't know exactly how to guide you. But what you should hear from somebody that knows what they're doing, and in my opinion, myself, is that this wall is right here, and there's no more information to study. You already know this stuff. So the only place you can go is either through that wall or completely give up. That's when the informational loop starts. And you are in the spot right now, Leo, where you can decide to get me into an informational loop, or you just say, something is completely messed up with my mind. Now, if you understand that part, which is my job to make you understand, that means you can continue on. And that's when you reach over the wall, or go right through the wall, breaking that wall. And then you'll be on the other side saying, holy shit, how green and calm it is on this side of the wall. I've never been here before. And it goes, because you now grow confident, you walk through walls and you just go, I'm so convinced in this model and idea behind the market, because it's extremely simple, and simple models get you to that wall faster, right? Why is that the case? Because there's no escape to more information. That's the point. And guess what? You will only see me teach one way of price, because it's the one way that works for me, and it will continue working in that one way forever if I decide to. right? So there is no more, no less. You can't escape, you can't run away. It's either you're giving up because your mind is messed up, right? Because you don't want to continue suffer in this and understand and face the fact that your mind is the problem, or you go right through that wall and you will see that I just conquered my own mind. The information works.
There is no decision to make. It's only through the wall. That is
Yeah.
how I see it.
Yeah.
And if for people who are listening, if some of them aren't comfortable outside, how should I say that, the comfort zone, then they will have a hard time. If you are outside your comfort zone, that means that things are changing,
Yeah.
and you are stepping up. So, okay, it might be uncomfortable, and I have to admit, it is uncomfortable for me.
Yeah.
And in the beginning, I was a bit, I didn't know what to think. I wanted to avoid, rather, to hit the wall, because I would perhaps make a bad impression or something.
Yeah.
But the fact that you say the sooner you hit the wall, the better,
Yeah.
that makes me only more confident to continue, of course.
Yeah.
That space outside my comfort zone at
Yeah.
the moment will become my comfort zone in the future. So, and that goes for everything in life, actually. So, a lot of trading theories are applicable in everyday life, and vice versa.
Yeah.
But yeah, there is only one way to see price, and the beautiful thing is as well is there are no indicators necessary.
Yeah.
You don't have to make your chart into an abstract painting or something, or disco or whatever, with flashing and alerts left and right.
Crazy.
It's just price. That is the beautiful part in it. It's learning a new language, so it takes time. Learning a new language needs a daily exercise if you want to speak it well. So this is the same thing. You just need to get on with it, and what the hell, it's only 6 weeks, man. So,
That's right. It costs you 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And for so for the informational part, right? As of now, I have to ask, and for you guys again listening, right? It's pretty funny. Some people will probably think I paid this guy, but as a matter of fact, I'm paying my time to him, even though he got the 6-week program for free. And I just wanted to completely transparent so I can learn, right? So I can learn what you are saying to me, what I need to become better at, right? I might be a good trader, but I might not be the best teacher. And that's the way it goes. And I have to teach. I always want to become better in all the areas I'm operating in. Otherwise, it's just downhill. If I walk up to somebody and say that, or my students say something is wrong with you and you don't listen to what I say, that's just not necessarily the way to go if you're stupid, essentially. How it goes is, I have something to learn from this. That person might be stupid. Could be the case, right? But many times I have something to learn from that. How can I potentially change the direction and the path for this person so that he understands? Can I as a teacher explain it in a different way? Can I as a teacher structure it in a better way, right? For the 6-week program, for example. So that's why we're running through this. But I have to ask you, Leo, from this perspective, have you ever seen this sort of information anywhere? And I want you to be 100% upright and honest to your own self, right? Otherwise, you're going to have to live with it.
This type of information, no way, no. And I'm quite, I know my way around the internet. And because I told you I have an IT background, so and back in the day, because of work, and was on the internet every day, I know how to search for things. But this is unique. This model is so unique. Your way of explaining, teaching is also unique. because you don't fit into a certain format as most people. And by the way, most people, let's be honest, it's a business model.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not really teaching
yeah.
that they want to obtain. They want to, well, they, as in the industry,
A lot of them, yes.
um, they would just want to sell, So
Yeah,
you want us to piss off after 6 weeks.
yeah. That's my entire
So
goal.
you're not asking for a monthly
No,
subscription or whatever. So um,
you,
now
yeah. You essentially
I've
just
seen,
learn, you practice, and you piss off. And that's what I
yeah.
wish somebody told me, right? That's something that I wish somebody was just upright, and told it straight to my face. This is where you learn, practice, and you piss off. Not because I don't want anything to do with you, but I tell people to piss off because they need to be independent traders, right?
Mhm.
And I don't want anything to gain from you staying, right? And I've been speaking and thinking about this as well. I chatted with that in the Q&A one day. I just went off, how my brain works at this point. But I was speaking about that the absolute worst business models are the best ones in the teaching of trading industry. The absolute worst ones, the most disgusting ones, is where I just give you enough to survive, but I gain your trust so that you do what? So you keep on wanting to be almost fulfilled. Almost. At all times, almost. That's what the disgusting part about this industry looks like, if you look at everything. And that's the most hateful thing that I have in my heart. And that's why I want to come up with this stuff. You get it, you learn it, and you piss off. Don't ever talk to me if you don't want to, because you don't have time for me. You don't have time for other teachers out there, no matter who they are. Don't walk around and praise teachers like they're some sort of gods. I'm not God. I'm a trader. I'm a 25-year-old trader. And that's all it is. I have a family. I have loved ones around me. I don't have time for bullshit. I don't have time for that. And I do this to show, right, that this is what I wish existed. Somebody that was just honest and was teaching in the way that it's actually to be taught, right? Not feeling like, oh, this guy is just trying to sell me something. Oh, this guy is just trying to you see what I mean? It's
Until now, and I think that goes for most people that have taken up a few courses in the past,
yeah,
is you know what you expect. You know that that particular teacher or trader won't be on a one-to-one call with you
yeah,
once or even 2 times a week, uh, even if the course costs $1,000 or $2,000
yeah,
dollars. Um, you know that from the beginning.
yeah,
If you're lucky, you might have a few times a private chat with him
yeah,
on Discord or whatever, doesn't matter, but that he takes a few minutes of time. Um, Perhaps there might be, in the best case, a one-to-one in the beginning when you subscribe,
yeah,
for him to explain, or even her to explain to you how the system works. But that's basically it, because nowadays they already have videos
yeah,
explaining how the system works.
yeah.
So in that perspective, I can only be very grateful that you take the time, because as I understand correctly, you have also other businesses.
Yeah.
So they're only 24 hours in a day, and you have several hundreds of
Oh yeah.
people in your community. So you need to dedicate an X amount of time
By the way,
to
that
each
don't
person.
that don't pay any extra. When we're talking about community, people think, oh, so that's an extra cost. No, it's included, right? So people understand that part
Exactly.
as well. I don't I don't ask for more. The only thing that comes along later on in week 6 and yeah, all of those things is like focus group. But I'm very clear, you don't need it. Piss off, right?
Yeah.
And to a lot of people, I've said no to. Don't join. Don't join. Spend time alone. And there was this one guy, I don't know where he's at now, but he was really smart. He got everything. I was like, you should not join. He was like, what? But I want to. No, don't join. I don't want you here. You're a really good trader. You know what you're doing. Amazing. Go spend your freaking valuable time with your family. And that's what he's done. I haven't heard from him since. Amazing. That's exactly what it's supposed to be. That's exactly what trading should be. And people have been so caught up in, they want to learn so much at all times, and they feel productive because they're learning so much, right? But that's just they're just visualizing a lie to themselves to not hit their ego. But at one point in your journey, you should be able to say, this is where I started to learn and this is where it stopped. And this is exactly what it goes for the 6-week program, right? Or the shit show model. There's only so much. You can dig however deep you want to. And a lot of my, so to say, very profitable students that are in the focus group, for example, they have dug in very deep. And I will tell everybody right now, but the result is that they go back to what they learned from the beginning. The simplicity. So there is literally no necessarily need to dig deeper. You might dig deeper to understand the why behind the why behind the why behind the why, but you will still end up but it's just a 2 to looking to run the 1. And that's what I mean, that the information starts and it stops. There is no more. It is a beginning and there is an end. And that's all it is.
I went back to to the beginning this week as well. I reviewed again for the 4th time all of the videos, and I redid all my notes because I must have missed something or a comment, or when you're watching a video and you just get distracted for 2 seconds when at the point when you mention something or draw something, which is actually quite important, and you missed it. So even earlier you asked what can you change as being a teacher. Well, you already make 2 videos per week on that particular subject of that particular week. We are all adults in this community, so we don't need hand-holding like for children. We need to take our responsibility. So that's how I see it. So with the information that we get, and even I got it for free on top of that. So, but even if you're paying for it, you should cherish that information, and that's also known in marketing environments, that when people pay for something, they're most likely to use that information rather than when they can get it for free. Definitely. So what I wanted to get at is use the information that you have, and I've seen it in the Discord as well, that a lot of people say, oh yeah, I went back to this video, or when in the questions section, when somebody asks a question, and people who are more advanced reply to them and say, well, look at I don't know, minute 30 of video 2 and go back and watch this, and then go back to video 5, and so we just need to go back into the information we have, rewatch it, and at a certain, you will find golden nuggets. Even if you watch it for the 10th time, there is something at some point that you will say in a certain context that you didn't get before. And if there's nothing more, then there's nothing more, because as you said, the model is quite simple. And even if it's still for me a bit of abstract, as a Pollock painting, it will come. I'm confident it will come.
Oh, definitely.
Again, that's with everything in life. If you want something and you go for it and you just put in the work, then you will get there. But not everybody gets there as fast, but everybody gets there at their own pace. So that is that I find amazing in this community, and everybody is supportive. And we have enough information. I don't know what you could do more. I
Yeah.
mean, give us 5 hours of your time each
Yeah.
to trade together
Crazy.
and take the trade for us, perhaps.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not going to help anything, you know. So we need to become independent
I
and
think,
autonomous.
yeah, I mean, when it comes to the structuring as well, the way I've been, so to say, structuring it as well, it's not because I don't want to, like, what my heart wants to spoon feed every single one of you so everyone gets a taste. But that's what I would like to do. But the problem is that my mind, what is actually going to help you is creating that self-sustained trader, right? And
Yeah.
that's where I'm holding your hand to a certain degree, right? I give you homework, I show you the way, I show what to focus on, just enough so you guys can actually take the step yourself at all times. And I'll back you up when you fall. I'll still stand there firm when you fall, and I'll pick you back up and say, get going, god dang it. But since I'm looking to create self-sustained trader and actually teach people how to trade, then it would be very strange for me if I just gave enough or gave too much. It's a fine balance between, you know, and so to say, I have the worst business model in the trading industry where I actually want you guys to succeed. Other traders don't want people to succeed. They don't want that. They want you as a developing student or trader to be reliant on them because that's how they make a shit ton of money. That's exactly how it works. But for me, I actually want you to succeed. I want you to become better than me. That'd be amazing. And the only thing you have to do is send me a freaking picture when you're in the Bahamas somewhere with your family, enjoying life. That's all I want. And that's something that I definitely can live with, seeing someone else succeed. That's beautiful. But these other rats in this industry, they want to teach just enough. Just enough. And everybody has gotten burned by somebody at some point. We all know what I'm talking about here. And at one point, they go, oh, just study this or study that or study this. And the only thing you know at a certain point is only their information and them, and nothing else exists. I used to be there with ICT, right? That little piece of shit. But for everything else, when it comes to what I wish existed, I just only created this entire 6-week program together with others for what past Jay wish existed. Something that would be upright, honest, no sugarcoating, straight to the goddamn point, no crazy amount of rant, maybe some rants, right? One, maybe. I don't exactly remember. But it was straight to the point. It was actual information that I could apply today. It's scalping. I can trade whenever I want. It's freedom. No time-based this, no kill zones this, not this hour, only this time frame. No. Everything. Smaller time frames, trade everywhere. At all times. Everywhere. And since there are trades everywhere and people are not used to that, of course they don't believe in 20, 30, 40 hours a week. But regarding that, would you say that you can see the potential within the 40 hours a week or 20 to 40 hour weeks that I talk about on X that people hate me talking about because I'm stepping on their, so to say, egos or toes?
Well, once you start to know your model, it's inevitable because your model gives the opportunity to put your stop loss so tight that it's only logical that you can make a 5, 10 or 15 hour trade every day, and even perhaps a couple of times a day. Well, perhaps for sure a couple of times a day. But as you told us as well, that we don't have to be in front of the charts 12 hours a day.
Imagine that.
We don't need to. That is something I look forward to as well. That I'm still a lot of time a day in front of the charts, of course, because I'm learning. But at some point, if I take a few trades and I got my X amount of hours in the pocket, I can just go on with my life, you know.
Yeah.
And this makes this model so so damn powerful.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, just regarding that, today I was live with the focus group, right? As I hold those lives, I was live with them, sitting and chatting, and the first 2 minutes, or I might have been 3, maybe 5 minutes, we're just watching price, and I said I'm gonna go long from, I think it was I don't know exactly the number, but it was 2 points away from it, and I went, this is where you're gonna go long. I'm gonna take a long here based on this, that. I was sitting watching price for 5 minutes, and then I grabbed 4.28 Rs in a matter of sitting in front of the chart for about, well, a bit before that. So 10 minutes to just warm up my brain, see what is happening. And then, so 15 minutes from start. Then I got my trade, 4.28 Rs, and done. And there you go. I can take more, yeah. I predicted the rest of the moves up and down, up and down, up and down as we were chatting. But at that point, FOMO disappears. I don't have to trade everything. Greed disappears because there's so many opportunities. Why would I bother? Well, that's actually one thing that I tend to do at times. I want to greed. I want more, right? As human beings. That's the one problem, because there's so many opportunities. I can take everything. Or as one of the 6-week program students said, he was like, but Jay, now that I know so many opportunities exist at all times of day, 24/7, how do I know when to stop? And that's the dream, right? Because now the only problem you will have is, how much money essentially do I want to make? How much time do I want to spend? Time now becomes your most valuable asset at that point. And that is freedom. We all came essentially to trading for a fast car or a nice house, for many of us, right? At least for us youngsters, so to say. But over time, you also have to remember that you came into trading because you want to be free. And if you have a specific time that you need to trade, once or twice a day maximum, that's not freedom. That's just another way of saying a 9 to 5, sadly. And just with a bigger downside to it, essentially. And
it's
Go ahead.
It's such a luxury to know that you can sit in front of your computer whenever you want, because until now I depended on the London Open, the New York Open, perhaps the golden hour at the end of the session, and now we can trade whenever we want, because we are able to zoom in at such a point that, like you said, there are opportunities everywhere. And even so, if you become more confident in yourself with time and experience, of course, instead of taking more trades, perhaps you can take one trade and level up. Perhaps, I don't know, instead of one contract, 2 contracts, and you're done just with one trade. Because even if you're wrong, your loss will be very, very limited, because the stop is so tight that it doesn't hurt, Well, it always hurts to lose, but it's not like a 1-to-1 or I mean, there's so much possibility with this model, so much freedom that it can give us. It's and another thing is, you become how should I say? I've done week 2. I started week 3, so I'm officially still in week 2. But if you don't adapt to the system, if you have a big ego, the system will dominate you. You won't be able to dominate it and use it to
love it.
To actually make money with it. You will be, if you're open to it, then you will be humbled. Even if you don't have a big ego, you're humbled as well. So when people ask you, where do I stop? I've done 40 hours and I want more, or I can do more, or it's not enough because it wasn't a good trade, my last one, so I need to do better.
Exactly.
you will know how far you want to go because you will have your ego in check as well.
Yeah.
So if I don't want to become too philosophical, but how I can
Many
feel
times,
it, understand.
yeah, and the philosophical part that you're adding on to that is quiet the definition, and those that are actually profitable know exactly what you're talking about here. I can promise you that, because when you find what fits you, you become philosophical in one way or another. It's very cheesy. It's not that you are just better than somebody else, but you start to reflect over your life when you find something that works. Many times that's usually how it goes. And I've spoken with, for example, with Dave about it, and Dave is very philosophical when I get to chat with him, for example. Very philosophical. He knows what he's looking for. He knows how to make money in the markets. He's very philosophical. And he was the one who told me this when we were sitting in a one-to-one. And I was philosophical. He's like, hey, Jay, you should know that, when you find something that works for you, you become philosophical. That's what happens. And it's pretty cool to see that you were already at that spot, because that means you're in the spot where your mind can sort of say bloom. It's the spot where you can grow roots in one way or another, because you find in one way or another, even though you're saying that you're hitting a wall and it's annoying and all of these things, right? But it's still in some parts of your brain you say, this is it. And that sort of gets you on that calm stage. So you are calm at the same time as your mind is going all over the place. I want to escape, but I also feel calm because I'm in the right spot at the right time. And
Exactly.
I think that for a lot of people, they would experience that if they were to look at the market in the belief of the market is simple. Price goes up and it goes down. If you make it that simple, it will become that simple. But since people don't see it as that is philosophical as well, as you can hear. The way you view things is what they become. That goes for life as well. The way you view a problem in front of you, or a hindrance, or this and that, it becomes then a big problem. And I think about, I'm going to expose my wife here a bit. And she will most likely be listening to this saying, well, why the shit is he talking about me? But if she watches a problem, and it's a very small problem for me, right? Like, for example, we forgot to get the groceries. If that is a huge problem for her and a small problem for me, who's going to solve it better? Me or her, right? Most likely me, because I don't see it as big of a problem, so I'll find a easier solution to it. But the one that sees something as a bigger problem, it becomes a bigger problem. So if you see the market as a very complex, this and that, algorithmic, up and down, unicorn, new WOG, all of these things, it will become that for you, and it will become your truth. But for other people, like myself and other shit show traders and you, Leo, you're now experiencing the market from the most simplistic 1, 2, 3, 4, and you're a master at counting to 4. You don't even have to count to 6, you count to 4, right? I mean, that's what the market becomes for you. And that is
see it as a
beautiful.
problem or an opportunity.
Yeah.
So that's just a state of mind,
Yeah.
It's if you are in Dr. David Hawkins says it beautifully, you're either in force or you're either in acceptance. And everything that is forced in life, even if it's physical or psychological, when it's forced, there's friction. So it's not fluid. But when you let it go, when you're in acceptance, then it becomes fluid. And like you say, if you don't see it as a problem, you will be more easily able to solve a certain issue, a certain obstacle. So I look at this as a very, very big opportunity for me.
Yes, sir. Of course it is. I'm happy that you're seeing it that way. And I mean, you're a smart guy, and I'm happy to spend time with you. As a matter of fact, after we've gone through all of these weeks, I still want to spend time with you, because you have such a insightful way of looking at life and trading as well. I'm learning a lot from these conversations as well, and getting my mind going. Not a lot of people can do that, and for some reason you do, in the good way and in the bad way. But I mean, yeah. So to end it all, if you were to say something to somebody that is considering being understanding the shit amount, or getting their hands on, or digging into in one way or another, not necessarily just joining the 6-week program, but just, this is my last point, what would you like to say to them the most brutally honest, upright way possible? What would you say to that person?
Same thing what I said before. If you're willing to put in the work, to be outside your comfort zone, to accept certain things and adapt to a certain way of learning and applying what you've learned to the market, then by all means forget everything else and come aboard. It's only 6 weeks, and you won't find it anywhere else. Even if this system becomes the new ICT, to say, you know what I mean? Not
Thanks.
like
Yeah.
ICT, but the same
Exactly.
level as attention that you get, then okay, more people will perhaps copy it. But at this point, you have the opportunity to be ahead of 99% of the traders out there.
Yeah.
And I'm only in my 2nd week, so what do I know?
Yeah, exactly.
I can only see what other people are doing at the moment in the Discord and when we chat. So it's mind blowing. So, but if you feel more comfortable with the way how things are at the moment, even if it's not really profitable, but it's what you know and you don't want to change, then this won't be for you.
Yeah. Very well said. Yeah, and I will add that perspective to it, right? If you watch, for example, these YouTube videos and you say, doesn't make any sense, it's like, meh, no, it's probably just repackaged bullshit or this and that. I feel sad for you because it's a big opportunity, but I understand your decision and gladly move on to something else, because if it's the case of you don't think there's anything to find in here for your own brain, go find something that fits you, right? Don't spend time, trying to sort of force your brain into something. That's not how it goes. And that goes for if you're studying ICT right now, and if you feel like this fit perfectly for my brain, amazing. Keep on doing that if that's the case. But
a lot of people that are using other systems that are very profitable for them, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. But they have found the very piece of this fits for my brain, for me. This is me within a model, right? And people forget that. They don't even know. People don't even teach it, because that would not be selling their, so to say, information in a good way. They want everybody to come aboard, and then the teacher doesn't give a shit about them. But I actually do care. And if I find something in my 6-week program, or somebody that is like, I hate that, blah, 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 I'm going to kick you out. I don't want to have anything to do with you, because I'm here to teach people how to trade this model, because they think that it's for them. And most likely, majority of the times, it very well is, like for you, Leo.
People you mentioned earlier, those are prejudiced people. They already have a certain opinion about it. So they have a bias, and if what they are learning is not according to their bias, they won't stay.
Yeah.
It's also not the kind of people that you want in your community.
Yeah.
And that goes for every teacher, of course.
And they shouldn't be part of it. They shouldn't be part of that community for themselves as well. Like, save your time.
Yeah.
Save your time.
A lot of people are trading systems that are not actually how should I put this? Systems that where they can't get 100% out. How do I say this? They are trading systems, and even that goes for me as well, or that was the case for me. I couldn't get everything out of it.
Yeah, I understand what you mean. It's almost like a blockade, a filter that you can't reach, right?
Exactly. You had to, in the case of the classic case, let's say of ICT, you need to learn a whole vocabulary, a whole narrative, and then a whole different set of ways of trading and moments in the day of trading, and this and that, and even if it's intraday, a lot of those trades were you were in for a couple of hours, or some people, or a lot of people don't have the time. A lot of people don't have the nerve because they get anxious. And that is, I've met quite a few of those. I was surprised actually that so many people apart from me could get anxious when they're in a trade too long. And also you have a stop, you have a take profit, and a lot of times, the trade goes in your favor. That's a win for you, you know. You say, wow, okay, I did that part, I did good, I did well. But then if you learn to not touch your stop loss, and the trade comes back, thinking that it comes back just a small retracement, and then it will continue, and then it gets your stop loss. So you were in a trade for like 3 hours, and you stop out with with the loss, things like that. So a lot of people, and certainly people that will listen to this as well, that don't feel comfortable with that way of trading, then the Sitcho model is that is the way to go. Then that's the only thing I can say. And like you said earlier, you don't pay me to say this, but this is how I feel it. I mean, I even talk in my private life with my girlfriend or friends the same way about this. If they ask me how is it going and everything, and what have you learned, and that's the only way I can talk about it. So I don't want to make you a hero or a god. You are a blonde god for sure, but you're just a guy. You're just a guy that trades and who's sharing what he has learned based on another model that helped you out with this. And that's that is some. It has no price, you know. It's priceless. This way of trading only in 6 weeks instead of 2 years.
Lovely.
That was just my 2 cents. Sorry, I'm a bit babbling now. But
that's wonderful. You're just speaking the truth, man, and I appreciate that. You know, and with what you've said, I think is a lovely way to end a lovely 1 hour conversation with a really smart individual, right? That is also a developing trader, right? And it's really cool to see how your mind is going to change over these weeks, right? And to see your progress. It's I love to see it, right? That's why I do this. I love to see this type of progress from each individual person, and I'm sure that every single one in the 6-week program can say that they feel that, because I really do. So yeah, with that said, I will chat with you in week 3, and where it's advanced sequences, and most likely your brain will be on fire at that point, and it's gonna be an interesting conversation, so to say. Definitely.
Take care. Have a good evening.
You too. Bye.
Bye, Jay. Bye.